Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I'm sitting in the best seat in the house, and that's the play seat. And I want to talk about the last video that I made about the BMW. And since it's a BMW video, it's a boosted video. I mentioned wanting to put that 454 horsepower dyno to the test. And with that, I had two goals in mind. First, I wanted to hit 11.9 at 120 on some new tires, which were BF Goodrich G-Force Rival S1.5. Yeah, I think I said that right. And the second goal was to hit 11.6 at 123-ish on some Toyo Proxys RR. In order to make this test with the drag tires a little bit more convenient, I picked up a second set of wheels, 19 by 10 inch BMW 437Ms for the rear. And that's why I would put the drag tires on. I did do some runs on my old tires, which were Falcon FK510s. And I'll link to that video where you'll see I did several runs, with the best run being 12.37 at 118 miles an hour. In this video, I went out and I did several runs, and I used a lot of different variations or combinations of XHP, which is the transmission flash. And what I found was between stage 2 and stage 3 did get me slightly better times, although from run to run to run is kind of negligible. But I decided to stick with stage 3, and that's what I used throughout the rest of these runs. I do have some notes here because it's kind of hard to remember everything I did. So in the slowest runs, I used launch control, and there was just entirely too much wheel spin. So I literally spent 2 to 3 seconds sitting in one spot before the car took off. And so the launch control run netted me a best time of 12.3, and I think that was at 117 to 118 miles an hour. The next best run that I got consistently was launching in first gear, not really launching, just flooring it. And that netted me at 12.2 at roughly 118 miles an hour. So because I wasn't getting the times that I expected to get, I went into F30 Beamer Post forums to see if I could see what other people were doing and what kind of launches, how they launched to get the best times. And one of the best suggestions that I got was to start in second gear and basically just floor it and manually shift, I guess, the way through to the quarter mile. And that didn't work best for me because I hit the limiter a few times, which caused the car to kind of stall for a split second, and I didn't get I did not get a better time, to say the least. And so I decided to just try launchers and see what worked best for me. My car is a 340i, it's not an M Sport, so there's no like sport diff or anything like that. It's just, I guess it's open diff. So after failing to get the times that I wanted during the day, and then, you know, there was kind of like an increasing amount of cars starting to come out to the area that I do my pulls, I decided to just go back out at night. And luckily, there was no cars on the road, and I was able to just do a few runs and kind of figure out what works best for me. So I didn't have to rush. I was able to take my time. So I decided to just go out and just practice launching and just try different things and see what works best for me. And what ended up working best for me was just giving it a little bit of gas, get the car rolling, and, you know, as fast as possible, of course, but not flooring it and spinning the tires. But then once I hit about 30 miles an hour, floor it. And at that point, I'll feel the car like starting to really get traction. It's fighting for traction. It hooks up and takes off. Stop.
30.
That felt better. by easing into it and then flooring it, I was able to get a 12.0, so a 12.06 at 120. So I got close enough to the goal to where I was happy with the performance that I got with the BF Goodrich Rival, G-Force Rival tires. But when I went back into the Dragy and I looked at the readout of the, you know, kind of like the time slip or whatever, the timestamp, whatever you want to call it, what I saw was one run was on level ground, another run was going uphill. So as I got better and better about feathering the throttle and launching the car, I got what would have been a slightly better time. Call it a night and go home from here. That would have sucked. And then I think I did let up at the very last second, but I had a little too much wheel spin. So this is a spot right here where I could go. We'll try one more time. Car's coming behind me.
30.
Better time. So since I was going uphill, is a huge possibility that I would have gotten an 11.9 at possibly 121 miles per hour. So even though I did not get an 11.9 at 121, I feel like seeing that the car was going uphill, there's a huge possibility that I could have gotten it. And so I'm satisfied with that. So instead of going out and doing more and more and more launches to try to get a better and better and better time, I'm happy. I think I met my goal, or at least in my mind I did. With that said, I'm gonna mount the Toyo Proxys on the spare tires. I should have done it. I should have had it done by now. I just didn't get around to it. Kind of busy, house shopping, house hunting and stuff like that. But so in the next BMW video, I don't think I'm gonna do a whole lot more content, I guess, pertaining to this, but I do want to see what the car can do with the drag tires. I already paid for them and I bought the spare wheels. So at my earliest convenience, I'm gonna have the Toyo Proxys mounted onto the spare 437M wheels. And whenever I have time, I'll put them on. Now, because I am running around a lot looking at houses and stuff like that, I don't really see myself putting the Toyo Proxys on the BMW because I don't really wanna have to spend the time, you know, jacking up the car and swapping the wheels back out for, you know, regular like daily driving and whatnot. So I will not make there's no guarantee of when I'm gonna put them on and actually go out for the pulls on the street. But within a month, I'll have access to, I should have access to like a, kind of like a drag strip. And I should be able to test the car then. I would say within a month, I'll have that video. But until then, I guess what I'll focus on is finding a place, moving, and then, you know, like a little bit of content for the Spider, because I do have some parts that I may install. But if the parts are gonna require a tune, I'm not gonna install it. So a video like this takes a good bit of time to put together. So thanks for your patience. Thanks for coming back and watching and seeing, you know, the progress with the BMW and the goals that I had for the car. And, you know, stay tuned for the next goal. And yeah, thanks for watching. If you like the video, leave a like. If you have any comments, leave them down below. If you like the channel, subscribe, and see you in the next video.